This is the XRP 1-month overview reading for the month of March 2024. It's currently January 30th, 2024, 9:17 p.m. Eastern Time. XRP at the time of this reading is 0.5079, or just over 50 cents USD. The shuffle video that we're about to play for you here in the corner was created on January 8th, 2024 at 8:59 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this video here. The overall theme of behavior for XRP in March is a rally that offers opportunity to open up a short position and close long positions. It is, however, crossed with a significant opportunity in the midst of a sideways fluctuating decline that precedes a rally. And that sideways fluctuating decline, the Emperor's card very often indicates like a good opportunity for growth potential, like to start a position with growth potential. Behavior around the highest high. We have a sideways fluctuating rally that precedes a decline, behavior around the lowest low. This will be an important range on a one-year chart scale at the low. That does indicate strongly that we most likely see a lowest low for the year, at least thus far there. What's interesting is that we may also see a highest high. It's a little hard to determine, but this is a very toppy card here, this Princess of Wands. And it actually appears here in late February. We'll talk about the cross-reading congruencies in more detail in the paid version. Now, if you've never seen one of these monthly readings where we do the, each card left to right across the screen is numbered for the date of the month. It's representing one day of time, but not each card's energy is going to line up perfectly. In some readings, not each card's energy will line up perfectly with 24 hours of time. So you have to give it plus or minus a day here or there of wiggle room. The sequence of events remains accurate nonetheless, so it's always important to follow the sequence of chart events as predicted, because that'll keep you on track even in cases where the reading is off by a day here or there. With that said, before we go any further, I want to make sure everybody's aware. The whole purpose of the channel is to transmute some of the competitive energy of the stock market into goodwill. We do that by following the rule of karma for the channel. You go to the resources tab of our website, Tarot for Traders, and 5% of the profits from every profitable trade utilizing this information should be donated forward to one of these charities, or pick a charity of your choosing as long as you're paying 5% forward, and then 5% should be sent back to the channel through one of these links. If you're international, you can use Wise or you can use YouTube tips, and that leaves you at 90%. Make sure to spend that 90% out of love. As long as you follow those rules, you follow the rule of karma for the channel, the universe considers you an angel investor. It's going to send it back to you tenfold for following through. Blessings to all my angel investors. Let's get back into it. Okay, so there's a lot of price change on the first. In a lot of the March readings, we see a monthly high here on the first. I'm not so sure I see that. I see a lot of price change and a lot of volatility. There is some indication of a prominent peak there, and we decline pretty notably into a trough by the cusp of the first second. On the second, we have a notable decline through multiple support levels. There's a day trade opportunity on the first. There's some swing trade opportunity on the second. On the third, we have a prominent move higher, followed by a full retracement of that move. Likely, we have some sort of prominent peak on a 1-month scale. On the fourth, it'll be like an overbought crest that we sell off from pretty notably through multiple support levels. There's actually a day trade opportunity on the third and on the fourth. On the fifth, we decline notably. There's actually a little bit of a rally that'll stand out, and then we decline pretty notably to revisit a support level that we recently met once before. It's likely the support from like somewhere around the second. On the sixth, we have a prominent peak early in the day and a sharp decline off of that peak. And then the majority of the day on the sixth is a rally along a diagonal trend line. We break through horizontal resistance, meet a second resistance, and then pull back somewhere between those two price levels. And that kind of back and forth behavior around the price levels continues onward through the seventh. Matter of fact, on the 6th, we decline from that peak early in the day to a significant trough on a 1-month scale late in the day. And then out of that, there's a rally along a diagonal trend line breaking through horizontal resistance to meet another resistance before pulling back. And then we have like this 3 crisscrosses, that back and forth behavior continuing into another prominent peak there on the cusp of the 7th, 8th. We see a period of sideways rotation along key support on the 8th that ends with a fast sudden move higher. There's a trough on the cusp of the 8th, 9th, and a peak in the morning of the 9th. Also a significant reversal on the 9th that'll stand out on a multi-day scale. Another prominent peak early in the day on the 10th, and then a sharp decline on the 10th with actually a day trade and a swing trade opportunity available there on the 10th. I'll talk about it in more detail in the paid version. On the 11th, we have erratic behavior back and forth through the same price level. In the midst of that erratic behavior, we revisit a crest that was recently a past opportunity. That's an important price level on like a 1-month scale. On the 12th, we have another period of sideways rotation. There's cross-reading congruencies there indicating a prominent peak either there on the 12th or on the 13th. On the 13th, we have a breakout on a multi-day scale. On the 14th, we have a failed attempt to break through key resistance that technicals would lead us to believe we're going to break through, and it's followed by a decline through previously established support. So chances are that the breakout on the 3rd doesn't hold, and we come back down on the 14th and break through support that we saw probably on the 12th. And then another crest on the 15th in the midst of a notable rally. There's actually a bit of a notable rally into that failed attempt on the 14th. And then a bit of a rally on the 15th into a crest towards the end of the day. And from that crest, we sell off down 2 and through support. We do a U-shaped reversal, come back and reuse it as support. Decline continues even more so into the 16th. At the end of the day, however, on the 16th, we have a significant move to the upside to a prominent peak. Another move to the upside on the 17th. Before we go any further, let's take a look at the January reading and see how we did. We've got one more day in January left, so we can take a good look here. So we had a possibility of a highest high on the 3rd, a possibility of one around the 7th, 8th, and then a strong possibility of one somewhere around the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. So it looks like on the 3rd, we nailed that one. On the 7th, 8th, it ended up being a new local high after declines rather than a new highest high. We missed that peak. And then we have like this period here where there's like a peak, that like 3-4 days in a row into the 17th. The 17th, any rally on the 17th would have offered opportunity to open up a short position before a notable decline. taking us into lowest lows on the 22nd, 23rd. I nailed that 23rd, and then another lowest low there on the 29th. Looks like we were off by a day. Oh, actually, no, I have it for the 30th as well. We had another lowest low on the 29th and the lowest low on the 30th. So we nailed the lowest lows for sure. We got most of the prominent highs. We were a little off on this one being a highest high. It wasn't as much of a high as we had figured that it would be. But if you follow trades, all right, so on the 12th, you could have opened up a long position and closed that long position on the 13th, and that would have paid off. It wouldn't have been the best trade, but you could have held it then to the 17th as well. That would have been roughly about the same. And then on the 17th, you open up a short position, which you would have closed on the 22nd. That would have been a solid gain in your account. And then out of the 22nd, 23rd low, you could have opened a long and closed that long on the 25th, or you could have waited till the 27th, and that was pretty solid. And then somewhere around there, you would have, like the 27th, you would have opened up another short position, maybe a partial short on the 25th, and then more of a short position on the 27th in anticipation of closing it somewhere there around the 29th, 30th. Overall, pretty solid reading. We were off a little bit on that high, but we nailed the lows. And considering that this January reading was created October 25th, 2023 at 2:39 p.m. Eastern Time, that's saying something about the power of SO meta analysis. So guys, if you want the paid version where we talk about the best trades, the timing of the best trades, what to look for as far as entry and exit and chart behavior to get in and out of those trades, trades from a multi-day standpoint, trades from a multi-month standpoint, trades from a multi-year standpoint, any price level information, all of that stuff in the paid version, only place in the world you can get it before the time that it's talking about. We're the only place. Especially with 98, we're the only place that has 98% average accuracy with the stock market as well. Totally undervalued, but a great way to support the channel. Much appreciation goes out to those that do support the channel this way. You go to our website, Terra for Traders, our services, SO Meta Posts, scroll down to monthly subscription, click here to order. And it's the XRP reading right here, $111 a month, super underpriced considering the power and the profit potential. And then if you're interested in the ticker symbol of more than just XRP, you can get the all paid version, which gives you the paid version of all of these ticker symbols in crypto on a monthly basis, as well as Amazon, Google, and Nvidia. It's the most popular subscription on the channel. Much appreciation again to those of you that go ahead and do that. And let's get back into it. Big move on the 17th, offering trade opportunity I'll talk about in the paid version. And then on the 18th, we have a trough towards the end of the day. It looks like that's in a period of sideways rotation along key support. There should be a big move higher at the end of that sideways rotation out of the trough, taking us into a prominent peak on the 19th at a key support level, and then we should do some like sideways behavior, taking us to key price level at key resistance, and then we should do some sideways rotation along that, bumping along that resistance into a near overbought crest on the 20th with a day trade opportunity. That crest declines through multiple support levels off of that crest into a U-shaped dip and trough around the end of the day on the 21st, which is followed by a big move that'll really stand out on a multi-day scale out of the trough on the cusp of the 21st, 22nd, and moving to the upside on the 22nd. We attempt to establish support at another trough late in the day on the 23rd, and that's probably after a peak around the cusp of the 22nd, 23rd. There's a day trade and a swing trade opportunity on the 23rd, and then out of that trough towards the end of the day on the 23rd, we have a rally increasing with momentum moving forward into a prominent peak on the 24th, and then continued higher movement on the 25th, reaching for a distant resistance. We come to an important resistance on the 26th with a big move to the upside to reach that resistance that's important on a multi-day scale, and then from that resistance we decline with consecutively lower spikes up on the way down. Another big move higher on the 27th, offering trade opportunity, and there should be some bumping along resistance sideways there. And then that turns into a volatile day on the 28th that ends with a fast sudden move higher. Fast sudden move higher doesn't last. On the 29th, we have one of our strongest declines for the month. That decline takes us to a trough at the end of the day on the 29th, and then a peak early in the day on the 30th, followed by continued decline and another significant trough for the month, or low for the month there on the 30th. The decline ends on the 31st with a fast sudden move higher. And the sneak preview for April is the Truce card, indicating an important price level, again, that is visited on a multi-day scale, probably on a one-year chart scale. And usually the Truce card would decline out of that price level after moving sideways a little bit. But that's XRP for March 2024. Thank you so much for supporting the channel by subscribing. If you haven't done so, please do so. It really helps out the channel. Most importantly, make sure to follow that Rule of Karma. Guys, if you're one of the few, that 3% of blessed souls that follow through on the Rule of Karma and donate that 5% regularly, my friends, there is a private Discord channel just for you. We send out invites regularly to people that are regularly following through on the Rule of Karma as a special thank you. So keep that in mind, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay tuned if you got the paid version.